I see writing as a gateway for learning and discovering the actions and mindsets that will lead me to accomplish what I want. I'm a 27-year-old video editor with 2 years and 11 months of professional experience, counting from the month I made my first dollar, which was in March of 2021, and I made $300 to be exact. And my goal moving forward is to create a video editing agency that makes $10,000 a month in profit with two main drivers in mind. Number one, I want to attract video editors that like the way I roll and my personality in general, and I want to train them to become world-class video editors. In return, I get great labor and the profit they make me. I'm okay if they end up using me as a stepping stone for bigger and better things. I don't want to tie anyone down to the company. Number two, to work with clients that obsess over their craft as much as I obsess over mine, which is to tell amazing stories in the most efficient and powerful way possible. Combining both obsessions, they will get a hell of a lot more business, and I get to charge money for that result. And the path I chose to create such an ambitious, at least for me, video editing agency is as follows. I will start to create content online to build a personal brand. And to give myself the best chance to create awesome content, I'll practice writing by creating a weekly newsletter where I write about the problems I encounter in pursuit of this goal. This way I practice how it feels to put yourself out there and how to actually build an audience. If I succeed, I'll have proof that I know what I'm doing and I can pitch that to businesses. But most importantly, I'll get an audience that resonates with me, and I'll be able to pick and choose the most talented video editors, or at least motivated people that want to start their career in video editing, and train them my way. And that's my simple plan to persuade potential clients and at the same time attract the talent to fulfill those clients. But what does writing have to do with creating content online and building a personal brand? Well, I believe in the idea that to amass a huge audience with a personal brand, you have to create content for yourself, talking about the problems you have and what solutions you came up with and how implementing those solutions brought you positive results. Since none of us are unique, broadly speaking, the solutions you found for yourself will be helpful for other people. Therefore, people will eventually follow. And I believe the best way to find solutions to my problems are to research and write about them. The best part about it is that at the end of each newsletter I make, I get a script for a long, thoughtful video, allowing me to not only learn from my research and writing, but also have a sustainable and consistent way of creating content online. Now, that's the plan. It's all good and great, but here comes my biggest roadblocks. I've never written or created content in a regular and meaningful way. I only made weekly videos for 12 weeks when I was in college about fitness, and that was 6 years ago. My level of English is great, but it's tough for me to portray my full personality online and on camera, which will detract from me connecting with potential viewers and people that I want to attract. Most likely, no one will see my newsletter and videos for months, if not years, which will be pretty discouraging, especially since I could be using that time to either work more for clients and making more money, or learning new skills in video editing to end up charging higher rates. Now, those are my 3 biggest roadblocks, but let's flip them. All of these difficulties will require me to become the exact person that I want to become: an action taker, obsessive, patient, resilient, and articulate. Here's an example. If I do the newsletter for 100 weeks in a row, there will be a high chance that I become great at it. So there's no reason for me to overspend time on the first ones and value completing the newsletter on time rather than the quality of each one. That goal of 100 newsletters in a row will require me to develop those amazing character traits that I described: action taker, patient, resilient, obsessive, and articulate. I strongly believe that the best way to learn is just by doing and then researching and reviewing your work to get better next time, but always prioritizing the doing. If I manage to pull this off, I bet that I can beat anyone who instead keeps doing courses and preparing to start someday in the future. And I truly believe what I just said, because I've tried multiple new things in my life and I waited longer than I should on all of them and didn't stick on any one of them long enough to truly see results. I was directionally correct, as Alex Hormozzi would say, on all of them, and I would have been extremely far ahead if I truly left everything on the table on any single one of them. I concluded that if you stick to one thing, no matter what, and you become great at it, you'll become a millionaire and achieve everything you think you want. And I said the word think because I believe that knowing exactly what you want in life is no small feat, but that's a discussion for another video. The things I tried were dropshipping, online fitness coaching, and managing ads for businesses. All pursuits that make a lot of people a lot of money, and I could have been one of them if I stick to one of them long enough. I truly believe that. This was 6 years ago when I thought they were saturated markets, and now looking back, they weren't. And even if they were, if you just become great at it, you get your share of the market. I'll never make the mistake of not sticking to one plan ever again. But now I want to give myself the best chance of succeeding in this pursuit. So I will take everything I just said and elaborate a simple step-by-step for me to follow to get a better perspective on this journey. And hopefully you can use that too on your current pursuit or your current goals. The only requirement is to have a plan that, if completed to a T, the chances of succeeding are close to 100%. For me, it is this. If I'm able to write a newsletter a week that tackles current problems of mine and I come up with actionable solutions that could be applied immediately, and in addition, I share those findings online, I will not only be improving myself, but also attracting like-minded people that want to go through the same path as me. That way, I could prove potential clients that I know how to grow an audience, and from that same audience, I'll be able to hire great talent to fulfill those clients. That's a hell of a plan, but it requires a lot of energy, a lot of execution, and I think this next step by step will help me and you to put everything in a more positive and useful perspective to one day achieve all of this. Number 1, choose to pursue something that even if you don't know how you'll become great at it, you're willing to do everything and have all the patience required to truly become great at it. It requires a lot of self-confidence, emotional stability, and courage, which I believe I have, or at least is something that I want to train towards and become that one day. So it is in my best interest. Number 2, take the courses or training necessary to just start doing it. Keep this to a minimum. You just learn by doing. I took the 2-hour writer course from Danco, and that's it. Number 3, start. That is the simplest step, but at the same time, the hardest. But I believe with practice and resiliency, you end up becoming able to start and experimenting without much fear, or at least the fear is not big enough anymore to just start. So, yep, just start. Number 4, set aside time daily to review your work and research what you can do differently. This sounds simple, but at least for me, I won't underestimate it because it's really time consuming, it requires a lot of effort, and I think that it can also be frustrating to see that you are really far away from what you want to create. So this is no small step, and I think all the magic is here to truly research, truly review your work without crumbling and applying new things. Just like I said, you kind of start over and over again when you try new things, and it requires a lot from you, and I won't underestimate it at all. Number 5 that I kind of just mentioned, apply what you learn in step 4 and double down on whatever ends up working. And final step, number 6, never stop. Keep doing number 4 and 5 in perpetuity. Here's where I'll apply my personal experience, and no matter how I feel, no matter how passionate or unmotivated I feel, I'll never stop, because anything can make you a millionaire and achieve whatever you want to achieve. So it's not necessarily the thing. I don't believe in having crazy passion for something, just sticking to one thing and becoming great at it. As long as you don't hate it, you don't have to be dancing every day for how good you feel of doing that thing. It's just like Alex Hormozzi says multiple times, it's just doing the quote unquote boring work every single day. That it might not be boring, but it's definitely not extremely exciting every day. It's just work, and I'm willing to pay that price. Or at least I don't want to make that mistake again of not sticking to one plan. Doesn't have to be perfect in my opinion. I truly believe that if I just stick to this, it's a matter of time of getting exactly what I want. Like I just said, it requires to have a plan that if completed to a T, the chances of success are pretty much 100%. And I think the plan that I have is one of those plans. I kind of want to make this work in maybe 2 years, but at the same time, that time is completely irrelevant. If it takes me 6 months, great. If it takes me 5 years, it's the same thing. The process is the same. My talent might be the variable that will decrease the time or prolong it, but who knows? I don't care. I just have to follow it. So, what's next? This is a newsletter. This is writing for me. I'm just sharing what I will try to do, and I'm really confident that I'll take action on this for a prolonged time, which that's key because I'll be taking action this week and the next, but I have to keep this for months and years. If not, I won't succeed. And I truly feel that writing will be the thing that finally puts that regular amount of work each week that will keep me hooked to just taking action, finding solutions through actions, and not just staying in theory and acting without stopping. I want to become that person that never stops. I might not be the best, but if I could be the one that never stopped, it'll be great. To follow my journey, subscribe to this YouTube channel. You can also subscribe to my newsletter that I'll probably have a link. I still haven't decided if I'm going to have my website or doing in Beehive. There's going to be a link below for that. You can also follow me on X, Instagram, and TikTok for short form content. That'll be shorter versions or sentences that I say here on the long video, but also there will be I'll probably update things that won't be mentioned in the long videos. I don't know. I'll see how this works, how consistent I get, how regular this will be. I'm honestly aiming to do 50 to 100 without stop. Might not be the great newsletters at first, obviously. I'm okay with that. But if I just keep doing it, by number 50, at least it's gonna be decent. So yeah, let's keep doing it. Thank you for watching until the end. I really appreciate it. Bye.